Make a chart with diagrammatic representation showing a restriction enzyme, the substrate DNA on which it acts, the site at which it cuts the DNA, and the product it produces. Now, with the help of the chart, let us understand the action of a restriction enzyme. Let us break the question into a simpler form. So first we need to show the chart representing the restriction enzyme, the substrate DNA on which it acts, the site at which it cuts the DNA, and the product it produces. Now, if this is the substrate DNA, so let us assume this as a substrate DNA. Now, the restriction enzyme here is BAMH1, BAMH1. Now, this enzyme cuts the DNA at a specific site, and that particular site is called as restriction site. So, all restriction enzymes, they have got a set of sequence which is recognized by the enzyme, and it can cut the DNA at that particular sequence. Now, this site is called as restriction site. Now, the restriction site for BAMH1 is, it runs from 5' to 3' direction, which is G, G, A, T, C, C. Now, if you read in the opposite direction, if this is 5 to 3 prime, the sequence runs as double G, A, T, double C. Now, if you take the opposite end, this would be 5' and 5 prime, and this would be 3 prime. The same sequence runs in opposite direction. So, here also we have double G, A, T, double C. Such sequence are called as palindromic sequence. We can read it in the same way, that is from 5n to 3n. From in the opposite strand also it runs in the same way from 5' to 3'. Now, this BAMH1, it makes a single stranded cut. It cuts the DNA in only one strand. So, here the DNA is cut, and in the second strand the cut is made over here, and these are the products. So, the two products has got a stretch of nucleotides which is overhanging. Now, these overhanging stretch of nucleotides are called as sticky ends. So, the product would be this, that is, the two strands, the sticky ends would be produced at the same end, and these sticky ends are complementary. When you bring these two structures close enough, a temporary hydrogen bonds would be made and they will pair up. So, always BAMH1 produces the DNA cuts which has got sticky ends. Now, in this question we have learnt what is the restriction site for BAMH1. It is double G, A, T, double C, and this enzyme cuts the DNA in only one strand. So, it makes a single stranded DNA cut, and the products will have sticky ends.